Hey everyone, if you enjoy raw, emotional stories about love, betrayal, and slow-burning revenge, don't forget to subscribe to the channel before the story begins. It was raining, the kind of cold, patient rain that only London knows how to deliver. Thin, relentless, soaking into stone and bone alike. 15 years of marriage ended for me on a Tuesday afternoon under that rain in our kitchen that still smelled faintly of morning coffee. "I've found my true love," Clara said it calmly, almost gently, as if she were talking about discovering a new restaurant or a better route to work. She didn't look at me when she said it. She was staring out the window at the small garden we'd once planted together, back when we still believed effort guaranteed growth. I laughed. The sound surprised both of us. It came out sharp and hollow, echoing strangely off the tiled walls. "True love?" I repeated. "After 15 years?" She finally turned. There was relief in her eyes. Relief and something else. Impatience. "I don't want to live a lie anymore, Adrian," she said. "I deserve happiness." I nodded, still smiling. Somewhere deep inside, something ancient and brittle cracked. "Of course you do," I said. She relaxed instantly, misreading my composure as acceptance. That was her first mistake. "I want a divorce," she continued. "Amicable. We're adults." I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone, and called my assistant. "Emma," I said when she answered, "clear my afternoon and cancel dinner plans for the foreseeable future." Clara blinked. "You're calling your assistant?" "Yes," I said softly. "This seems like a workday now." I ended the call before she could say another word. That night, after she went to stay with her sister in Kensington, I sat alone in our house and listened to the rain tap against the windows like quiet applause. I poured myself a whiskey I'd been saving for a celebration that would never come. 15 years. I met Clara when I was 27, fresh out of university, carrying the invisible weight of my family's past. My father had been a miner in Wales, his lungs destroyed before I was old enough to understand what sacrifice meant. My mother worked 2 jobs, aged before her time. We didn't inherit wealth, we inherited endurance. Clara came from a different world. Her family owned shipping interests, tracing back generations. Men who survived wars by knowing when to step aside and when to claim credit. Her father, Richard Whitmore, liked to say the family survived because they were emotionally efficient. I thought love would be enough to bridge that gap. I was wrong. I built my consulting firm from a rented desk and a second-hand laptop. Clara smiled at my ambition, but never quite shared it. When success came, contracts, recognition, influence, it was gradual, earned, and invisible to her. To Clara, it simply became expected. We lost ourselves quietly. No screaming matches, no dramatic betrayals. Just distance, like continents drifting apart. Her true love, as it turned out, was Julian, an art curator 10 years younger, with earnest eyes and borrowed confidence. He made her feel seen, she said, alive. I didn't ask how long it had been going on. I already knew. In the weeks that followed, Clara's tone changed. She became efficient, cold. She wanted the house, a generous settlement, a clean break. Richard invited me to lunch. We met at a private club near Pall Mall, wood-paneled and steeped in old power. He listened as I spoke, nodding occasionally, eyes sharp. "These things happen," he said finally. "You're a capable man. You'll recover." "I'm sure," I replied. He leaned forward. "I trust you won't make this difficult." I smiled. I wouldn't dream of it. That was my second mistake, letting him think I was predictable. What Richard never understood was that men like me don't explode. We adapt. I moved out quietly, took a flat overlooking the Thames near Greenwich, where the river bends like a question mark. I worked harder than ever, advising corporations, restructuring failing empires. At night, I thought about Clara's laugh, Julian's hands on my wife's back, and the way Richard had spoken to me like a temporary inconvenience. Revenge didn't arrive as rage. It arrived as clarity. I began to notice patterns. The Whitmore shipping empire relied heavily on my firm's strategic modeling. Their public image was spotless. Their internal operations were less so. A misfiled document here, an offshore subsidiary there. Labor practices in Eastern Europe that would not survive scrutiny. Emma noticed the shift in me. "You're planning something," she said one evening as we worked late. "Yes," I replied. "Something patient." Autumn settled over London, turning the parks gold and rust. Clara sent divorce papers through her solicitor. I signed nothing. Instead, I waited. The Whitmore Group announced a major expansion, new routes, new ports, a bold future. The press loved it. So did investors. The launch event was scheduled for December at the Tate Modern. Invitations went out. Clara and Julian would attend. Richard would speak. So would I. On the night of the event, the Thames reflected the city's lights like shattered mirrors. Inside the gallery, champagne flowed, and confidence hung thick in the air. Richard took the stage, smiling broadly. "Family," he began, "is about legacy." The screens behind him changed, not to logos or projections, but to documents, emails, shipping logs, testimonies. The room fell silent. My voice played through the speakers, calm, measured, familiar to anyone who had ever trusted me with their business. "True love," it said, "is honesty, and honesty requires courage." I stepped forward from the crowd. Clara stared at me, horror blooming across her face. Julian's hand trembled in his. "This company," I continued, "has thrived on silence, on looking away. Tonight, that ends." Journalists surged. Investors whispered. Richard's smile collapsed. The fallout was immediate and merciless. Investigations, withdrawn funding, board resignations. The Whitmore name, once untouchable, became a liability overnight. Clara tried to call me, then texted, then showed up at my flat, eyes red, voice breaking. "You destroyed my family," she said. I looked at her, really looked, and felt something close to pity. "No," I said. I stopped protecting it. The divorce finalized quietly after that. I kept nothing that wasn't already mine. Clara moved abroad with Julian. Last I heard, he'd left too, once the glamour faded. Winter returned, sharp and clean. On New Year's Eve, I stood alone by the river, fireworks lighting the sky over London. I thought about my parents, about endurance, about love mistaken for obligation. 15 years had been taken from me, but I hadn't wasted them. I raised my glass to the river and let the cold air fill my lungs. Some endings don't break you, they free you.